So, last we left off, uh, you guys had finally uh, departed the the summer court after an encounter with uh, one of Baba Yaga's knights, as well as a unicorn. Upon reaching the autumn court, you guys were able to persuade a Holdra to to serve as your guide, that she would take you to the Witch Queen's Grove. And she even insists that it's not very far, and that she must have known that you guys are coming. So you are continuing down the path here in the Autumn Court. Are there any conversations that anyone would like to have before we jump into the juicy stuff?
Don't think so for me.
All right. So, with that, then, I would love for one of you to roll a d10 for random encounter.
Who wants to do it? Should I do it?
It's your arc.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do
Oh,
it.
Demir's arc. We'll get to Lish in a few minutes.
What, just a 1d10?
Yeah, 1d10.
7.
7. All right. So as you guys walk, Lish, you would hear this first. There's the sound of chatter, of people talking and laughing, over the sound of music being played.
Ooh, is it coming from, like, in front of us?
It's coming from, like, to the front right.
Mm-hmm. Kind of perk his ears up a little bit to see if he can't catch the melody of the song.
This is well, it is a pipe flute, and it is typically a song played in times of joy and festivities.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'll ask our guide. Oh, there's some kind of festivities going on today.
Well, I mean, there's festivities going on all the time, depending on where you look.
Fair enough.
There's always something to celebrate, after all.
Well, we are going into your seasons.
You're already in my season.
Well, yes.
But if you wish to investigate, I can lead you that way if you're interested.
Yeah, we could go take a look. Kind of looks to the rest of the group. Like, shall we go investigate a party?
I'm interested.
I am following your lead.
Aaron's going to roll his eyes and, in a very joking tone, be like, if we stop and investigate every party, we're not going to get anywhere.
Well, you never quite know who you're going to run into. It'd be a great networking opportunity. Stupid.
We do need all the hands we can get.
You're not wrong.
So your guide starts to veer off towards the right in the general direction of the party, or at least where you hear the sounds coming from. And you find yourself in a small grove with a handful of satyrs in Holdra. Much like your guide here, the Holdra are all female. Many of them have foxtails, but some of them have tails that are more bovine in nature. The satyrs are, of course, largely taking the shape of shirtless men with the behinds of goats. And they are dancing and laughing and flirting with one another. Nearby, there is a wooden table that looks like it has been grown from the ground itself, laid flat with an enormous feast that smells strongly of autumn spices. There's apple ciders. There's some turkey. There's celery. There's roasted vegetables. It all smells very wonderful. And as you approach a couple of the satyrs, start to kind of approach you as well. Who's in the lead here, would you say?
Well, I mean, our guide, probably.
Mm-hmm. Well, she kind of diverts off and starts talking to a couple of the other Holdra.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I assume Demir and Lish would probably be near the front.
Right.
Oh.
Well, one of the satyrs, excuse me, approaches you, Demir and Lish, and grabs your hand and starts shaking vigorously with both of his, and says, "Oh, welcome. We weren't expecting more guests."
We just happened to hear your music as we were passing by. What sort of gathering is this?
Well, a merry one, of course.
Certainly.
You can call me Danielle.
Danielle?
And are you here to make of the merriment with us?
Well, it depends on what for and for how long. We are just passing through.
Well, we are here to celebrate this bountiful feast, of course, and for those of you that aren't of our lands here, it should be safe to eat. However, all we ask in return is a little bit of entertainment. A story, a song, a dance.
Truly, a feast that even prime material folks can eat. He looks a little surprised.
Well, of course. What's the point of a party without getting to meet new and interesting folks from far off lands?
Can I insight check?
Yeah, roll an insight check.
I got a 15.
He seems pretty honest. You can tell that he's kind of a younger satyr. He's got more round cheeks and kind of curly brown hair, and his horns are starting to curve back, but they're not and not as large as some of his other brethren that are here in the hollow dancing and flirting. He's got a little bit of a scruff on his chin.
Samira is going to look at the party, or at the group, the Wild Roses. There we go, and kind of like trying to gauge interest, see if folks are seeming interested or seeming antsy.
I'd like to think that we're interesting enough to gain admittance.
That's true. I'm sure we can provide at least some sort of entertainment.
Would be a single bit of entertainment each for your group here, but we're glad to have you.
Does everybody feel prepared to provide entertainment?
Is that asked to the party?
Mm-hmm.
Tobias just kind of like looks at Lish like with eyes saying, "Please no, do not make me."
You could borrow Hawk's guitar.
I do not know how to play. I
Doesn't
do not have
to be
talent.
musical entertainment, just as long as you make someone laugh, or cry, or feel any sort of emotion.
Would
Who might
people like
cry?
wood carvings?
Perhaps. Is it not entertainment to see something be brought to life?
Maybe? I don't know how this works.
If you're
I
having
would say
enough fun
so.
doing it, I'm sure everyone will have fun watching you.
Okay.
The creative expression is shown in of itself.
I guess I could take requests.
It's a great idea. A great idea.
Samira is going to turn to Daniel and just say, "Well, if you will have us, then you may call our party the Wild Roses."
Well, you are welcome then, Wild Roses. Come, feast, dance, flirt, be merry.
Samira is going to look over at Lish and just offer a hand.
Mm-hmm. We'll take it.
She's going to lead him over to where the others are dancing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for the sake of this, I might switch to festival music because it's fun. Let's see if I can find the playlist because it's been a bit. There we are. So you guys begin to dance. There's like once again the food is there and it smells delicious. There's spiced wine. There's any sort of nostalgic kind of autumnal meal that you can imagine. The satyrs are dancing with each other and with the Holdra. You can see that your guide, who has introduced herself as Embla, she is very happy to be here and dance around. Demir, what do you do to entertain these fae folk?
Besides exist.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, is Demir's chaotic energy not entertainment enough? But I think probably she'll take out her new fancy magic lyre and do a little song. Or two or three, however many they request. Um and actually, as she is performing, I think, hold on, how many do I choose? Oh, apparently just anyone. Oh, I'm sorry. 6 creatures that are watching or listening to me for a minute need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Which in theory could be the party, but
How many party members do you want?
I mean, however many are watching, just like 6 people need to make the saving throw. So if someone was watching,
I think Lish is probably watching.
Mhm.
And
say
Aaron's
Hawk
gonna
was
take the
too.
opportunity to dance with Lish. Mhm.
All right.
And also be watching.
Yeah, Bulk is kind of watching everything until it's her turn to perform.
I got a 14 wisdom save. I rolled very low.
One of the
Got a
saves
12.
got a natural one.
Oof.
rip.
That is a very drunk satyr.
Wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom saving throw.
25.
Okay, Volk, you're the only one that's safe so far. And the rest of you are charmed by Demir for an hour.
As opposed to...
As opposed to a single round or a minute.
Oh
So,
my god.
Demir, while you are playing, a kind of an older satyr gentleman, he's got some gray in his hair. It just looks like it was once curly and soft like Daniel's, but it looks like he is a man of the woods, so it's kind of grown longer and more wild, and his horns are very large, and you can imagine they'd be quite heavy on his head. And he is he's of course not wearing much by the way of clothing, as is the way for satyrs. So you can see his like big, like broad belly, and then some kind of tribal style tattoos along one arm. And he kind of like makes his way up to you, and he is listening to you play for a few moments, and you can kind of see the charm take effect as he pulls out his pan flute and starts like jamming with you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And for
Demir
someone,
is having a good
for
old
someone-
jam sesh.
yeah, for someone so like physically large and old, he's like really like quick on his feet as he like dances and plays his flute.
Demir will kind of shift her songs from a more marhaban tune that she was singing before to something a little more jaunty Feywild, so he can join and dance. Something a little more familiar to him, perhaps.
All right. Volk.
Yes.
How would you like to entertain the Fae?
Well, she'll probably do a rinse and repeat of what she did last time that she aced a performance, and lead a round of drinking songs.
All right. The Holdra and the Satyrs are all very interested in this. Some of the older of each race recognize some of them, but some of the younger are like, okay, this is the material playing song. I'll like clap along and do my thing.
Sings during the repetition parts, doesn't know what the hell else is going on besides that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because, drinking songs. You gotta be able to sing it while drinking. And I roll like shit. Performance 6.
That's fine. I mean, it kind of takes a couple minutes for some of the satyrs to get into it, and one of the Holdra, one with a bovine tail, kind of like sidles close to you and corrects your words for one of the songs. But everyone's sufficiently entertained. Aaron.
Yeah. So Aaron's gonna go up, and he'll, twirl his paintbrush theatrically, and say, so for this one, I'm gonna need a volunteer.
Do you want a satyr or a Holdra?
How about a satyr?
All right. This satyr is one of the younger ones. He looks like he has recently cut his hair short and he is wearing a binder. But he comes up to you, and he has kind of like almost on the verge of blonde brown hair, and he has like very striking green eyes, and he introduces himself as Vlasis.
Vlasis. Ah, wonderful, wonderful. All right, now we're gonna play a quick little game of I Spy. So, why don't you tell me one thing around the clearing that's catching your eye right now?
That pitcher of wine.
Alrighty, easily done. Now, close your eyes. I'll say for 50, and count to 50.
He starts counting in Sylvan.
And as he does so, Aaron's gonna, dip his brush into his magic paints. And then let's see, he's got his hands up. He's going to paint over the backs of both of his hands, with a quick little wine pitcher, so that in his current hand position, the pitcher's facing up and all of the wine is inside of it.
All right. Once Vlasis is done covering his eyes, he beholds the painting and starts applauding.
And as his hands move around, the wine sloshes out of the jug and starts just dripping down his arms. And Aaron will set up shop just at a chair and offer to do some more paintings for anyone who's feeling it.
Vlasis seems very excited and runs over to one of the Holdra, one about his own age, Um,
Aww.
long braided black hair and a bovine tail, and starts to show her, and she approaches you. Introduces herself as Astrid.
Astrid, lovely to meet you. Do you have a request, or do you want artist's choice?
About artist choice.
And Aaron's going to yeah, he's feeling pretty inspired by the other night. He's going to paint a little unicorn, like probably around like the collarbone, that's just gonna gallop back and forth across her neckline.
All right. Let's see. Lish, what do you do to entertain the folk?
The folk. I was thinking that
The fair folk, if you will.
the fall folks. I think that he's gonna have everybody gather around and he'll put on a little one-man show with his alter self spell where he plays all the parts. and just give like a little rendition of like a, I don't know, like a popular little Feywild play. Or he's gonna give like a one-man show version of the one play that they went and saw in the PMP of the like fairy court. and try and recreate that story, because it's probably not a story that they've heard before on this plane, and it was a little tacky, and he kind of liked it. So
I find the tackiness of your performance really hilarious.
yes, good.
It's very entertaining. A couple of the older Satyr and Holdra are like chuckling to themselves about it. And the younger ones seem rather entertained, or like, that's unrealistic, but I'll have some buy-in.
he's in his alter self, he's like very much playing into the fact that they're like mortals that have like put on like fairy costumes, so like the like paint is just like a little bit more like goopy, and the ears are a little bit more cardboard, like very much like, look at this mortal play that I saw, it was hilarious. It also made me mad.
Well, yeah, they all find it very funny, and they quite enjoy your mockery of mortal kind.
Just that one play. And I mean, it was only an okay play anyways. I mean, it was fun, but yeah. So
Hawk, for his part, pulls out his own lyre and starts to try to play a bit, and of course it's not as good as Demir, but two Holdra women start to kind of dance near him and give him words of encouragement as he kind of hits the wrong note every now and then. Tobias, how would you like to entertain the folks?
He won't be up on stage or anything, but he will be off the side taking carving requests from people. So long as the request is somewhat in reason / like is a creature that he knows. And basically carving creatures or animals for people and then giving it to them.
All right. Well, once Demir's performance is finished, the older, like, fat satyr that was playing the pipes with her comes over to you. Do you think that you can carve a robin?
Absolutely, sir. And Tobias will carve him a robin.
All right. And once you carve the robin, he holds his hand out to it.
Tobias will place it in his hands.
He kind of cups his hands like this to hold the carving in it, and he finds a gap in his hand and blows. And then, when he opens his hand again, a little robin, it's still made of wood, but it's kind of hopping around like a real bird would. And it just takes off and flies away.
Tobias watches as it takes off and flies away, utterly amazed at what he witnessed.
The satyr gives you a wink and then moves back over to the feasting table.
That was so cool. Tobias will continue doing carvings for people.
Aaron's gonna request a blink dog.
Tobias will make him a blink dog.
All right. So how long do you guys spend here in this party?
I mean, time is all relevant.
Mm-hmm. I think, like, considering that each person's act, like, takes a, notable amount of time here, and people have time to hang out while everyone else is acting, I think once everyone's gotten through their thing, Aaron will start sending messages around, checking on how people are doing and if they feel like they've gotten their fill yet.
I would also like to ask, how much are you guys partaking in the alcohol being served?
Tobias is not drinking or touching any of the food or drink.
Valk stops drinking once she's done performing, so she can sober up before heading back out.
Aaron's gonna message Lish and ask if the food is actually safe.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lish will investigate the food before people start partaking, just to ensure that it's not got special attachments.
Oh yeah, it's definitely safe. Like, these people are here to have a good time. They're not really looking to ensnare anyone into the Feywild. That's why they ask for entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Lish will...
They could have asked for more, but they're here to flirt, to fuck one another, to dance.
Lish will have some of the wine and food then. And he will, just this once, he will tell Tobias, would you like some of the fruit?
Sorry, I briefly stepped away at that. Lish was asking Tobias if he wanted any of the fruit.
Yes, Lish will say, just this one time.
No, Tobias is not chancing it.
Suit yourself.
Demir has been drinking, though, for sure.
It's really good. Like, as I said, the wine is spiced, and it goes fantastically with the flavors set upon the table. Lots of things baked with apple, lots of squash, all that fun stuff.
She's absolutely doing that thing where like someone who is kind of foodie is trying to pick apart what spices are being used in everything. Trying to figure out exactly what mulling spices was used in the wine, which means you have to drink more of the wine, obviously.
Of course. Yeah. It's a good time. Say you guys probably spend a few hours there, and enjoying the company of the fair folk, um, dancing, having fun, performing, um, and the party is really showing no signs of stopping. But you're starting to get tired from the activity.
Well, my friends, we do have important business that we must attend to. Shall we camp out here or make our way?
I don't imagine it'll be particularly quiet for sleeping for a while.
Probably not.
I say
Would
if we're up
probably
to
serve
it, we
us well
could
to
keep moving.
sleep somewhere else.
Yeah.
Much fun as it would be to sleep here.
One of the Holder winks at you when you say that, Aaron.
Aaron will wink back.
All right. So you bid your gracious host farewell and continue on your way. Embla looks like she had a good time at the party.
Mm-hmm.
But as promised, she begins to lead you in the direction of the Queen's Grove. And I'll switch back to the regular Wild music now.
Demir does look a little bummed as we're leaving the party, just like waving goodbye to all the satyrs she was dancing with.
Did she get any numbers?
I mean, that's a question for the DM. Did Demir get any numbers?
Yes. From both the Holdra and the satyrs, as did a number of you, frankly. And by numbers, of course, we mean very, very strong hint to come see them again.
We're not in the Oceanic Court. We can't just call them up on their shell phones.
Nya, 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 nya.
What? They don't offer a little grass whistle that they'll hear and come for a booty call?
Have you rolled seduction specifically, so.
Well, Valk wouldn't be trying to seduce anyone because, well, Valk.
Demir's with her boys.
Anyone who says they want to see Aaron again is going to get a tiny little drawing of themselves put on Aaron's arm.
Just so you don't forget them.
Just so I don't forget them, yeah.
Alright. So you guys continue through the autumn woods for another couple hours before it's time to rest for the evening. The sun is getting lower in the sky the more you move, but it still has yet to reach the horizon. I assume you guys set up camp for the night?
Yeah.
All right. Are there any conversations that would like to be had?
At some point, Aaron's going to approach Toby, and say, and pull out his blink dog, which in the interim he's painted to look like something with his normal paints, and then with his magic paints, he's added a little like fizzy green effect. So every so often, just a ripple of green light goes over it, and all of the color disappears from it, and then it ripples back on. And he's gonna say to Toby, "Thank you for this." And he's gonna rummage around in his backpack for a second. And he is going to pull out. He has a whalebone owlbear figurine that he's been carrying around for fucking ever. And he's gonna say, as payment, and then hand it over to Toby.
Tobias like eyes the statue like very much eye watch it. Where you can see hesitation in his eyes as he like slowly like kind of reaches for it, pulls his hand back, reaches, and he's like, I mean, you don't have to I didn't have you don't have to give me payment or anything in exchange, but I really want that. But you know, it's like just kind of like turning his head to the side as he holds his hand out, just like, may I have it, please? I would like the thing.
Aaron will do the little like hand brush, like I am brushing away all of your comments, kind of thing, and say, I've been waiting for a good opportunity to give it to you.
Then I will happily accept. It would be rude for me not to. And Tobias will gladly take the whalebone carving of an owlbear.
And Aaron will be like, and how well is it carved? I haven't known how to check.
I mean, the fact that it's carved on whalebone, it's done very beautifully.
Good. Glad it was a good trade then. And he's beaming.
Oh, very much so. Thank you, Aaron.
Anytime.
I do appreciate this.
And he'll give Toby a little shoulder squeeze.
Ah, fuck that. Come here. Tobias gives him a full hug.
He'll leap into it and bonk his head lightly on Toby's.
Get over here.
And after that, he's going to find Demir.
Demir is probably just hanging out with Lish.
How like still drunk and or hungover is Demir right now?
I mean, she was mostly drinking mulled wine, so she's probably mostly sobered up.
Good.
Like,
she's
on the tail end of it. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. In that case, ooh, do I have anything that I can wrap this in? Not really. Oh, I know it's gonna be fun. In that case, Aaron pulls out a little bundle that seems to be made of the little blue scarf he's been wearing recently, and says, Demir, I've got a little present hidden in here for you, but it comes with a price.
Okay.
If I give this to you, you must promise to use it.
I mean, I'll certainly consider it. What is it?
Aaron will chuckle and say, that's good enough for me. I suppose I'm not striking a formal deal here. And he'll add Demir the little scarf packet.
Demir will open it, a little uncertain.
And inside of it is the unicorn cookie cutter that Aaron just got at the trinket shop before we headed out. And he'll say, you seemed I got this to trade with someone, but you seemed rather enamored the other night, so I figured you could make use of it.
Demir just is like standing there with the little unicorn in the like wrapped up bundle in her hands just for like a solid few beats, and it's kind of like you are a little worried that she maybe doesn't like it, and then Demir is just going to grab Aaron into a tight hug.
Oh. Yeah, he'll squeeze back in. Well, it's not entirely altruistic on my part. I do want unicorn cookies.
What did
He says it's not entirely altruistic on my part. I do want unicorn cookies.
Unicorn cookies. Okay.
And he'll squeeze up Demir. Actually, he's going to see if he can lift Demir.
I mean, he probably can.
He's just gonna lift up Demir then.
Demir just kind of like a little surprised little squeak, but she'll like kick her little leggies up out off the ground to show that like you're holding me.
Yeah. Yeah, and
then
he'll put it back down eventually.
She'll just thank you, Aaron.
Of course.
She'll get back to what she was doing, which was trying to set out dinner, but now she's going to start like using one of her bowls and adding some sugar cubes and some cream, and she's gonna start making some dessert.
Trey had been kind of watching Aaron hug you and lift you up, and he gives you the like younger sibling look.
Demir is going to throw a sugar cube at him.
And
he catches it. And then just puts it in his mouth and goes back to his book.
And then for the rest of the evening, Aaron's just going to be kind of humming contentedly while going about his business. And Volk can tell that he's actually saying in Celestial, hee. Everyone loved their things.
Hee hoo hoo ha ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
How would one bake cookies in the middle of a fayish forest?
Burning hands.
Yeah.
Make little hot plates out of your open palms.
Wait a second.
I was going to say she probably has like a griddle of some sort. So, you just figure out how to cover it in the like.
Cook it on the summer lantern. The side of the summer lantern gets real toasty.
Wait, no. I can use stone shape and make a little stone oven that we can then power with fire.
Ooh.
We're not using spell slots.
I also have stone shape. So if the two of us can't figure out how to vaguely make a oven shape out of stone from the ground, then I don't know what else.
I mean, I also can cast Demiplane now that there are not people in it, and you could cook in there if you wanted, but it seems like you're having fun, so I suppose you can keep doing what you are doing.
You don't like my oven?
I just...
Demir
Oh, it's
gestures
great.
at the little stone mound she has made.
But no, Eitri walking...
Wonderful.
Just the image of Eitri walking up and just Balk and Demir turning at him just with crazed looks in their eyes as they're trying to magic their way into making a stone oven.
I was also going to ask, what was Eitri's performance entertainment for the party?
He was telling traditional stories in Marhabi, and sort of doing the thing where he says a verse and then translates it, and every now and then would use prestidigitation and minor illusion to add effect to it.
Dope. Yeah, Demir is going to she's going to try her best to use her stone shape oven. And she's gonna make some cookies.
All right. It works enough.
Is that a performance check?
Sure.
See how good these cookies are. It did not do the thing. Yay. That is a... Oh boy. I think that's a 20-something, 12, 21.
All right. I mean, they're passable, not up to your usual snuff, but you're making do with what you have.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do in the middle of the woods, so
Mm-hmm.
they're probably not as neatly frosted as she would like, but
You're
oh well.
looking forward to getting back to the prime material plane and to present Levy with some proper cookies.
She does her best. She'll give everyone a unicorn cookie with their dinner as she's handing it out.
All right. Do you guys want to use the dome this evening? Or Eitri's demi-plane?
The dome is a ritual cast, so it doesn't even go against spell slot usage. But if we want to be more comfortable this evening, I wouldn't be insulted if we didn't use it.
It's no longer a bunch of
You
people.
can set up the tower and knock a bunch of trees out of your way.
Yeah, let's not piss off the ruling lord by destroying a lot of habitat.
Attach Schmabitat.
Eitri is willing.
All right. Eitri sets up the demi-plane then. Shimmering doorway appears, and it looks just as you left it, the Marhaban-style courtyard with a coffee fountain and the various tables and chairs and whatnot, and rugs.
Balk dips her cookie in coffee.
All right. So, any more conversations, or do you guys bunk down for the night?
Lish, I think, will bunk down.
All right. So the evening passes uneventfully. Do you guys want Embla in the demi-plane with you, or do you want her elsewhere?
Would she be comfortable comfortable with that? Does she seem interested?
She seems curious about it.
It feels like it would be rude to like, oh, we're making a magical dimension that you can't come into to our guide. So
Putting up a little, draw loud sign on our clubhouse
Right.
because we're racist.
no pay allowed.
Okay. Sure.
But
Demir
was
will-
just sleeping
No,
out with
no,
the
we're-
Hydra.
Demir will at least look to Itri first. Just like kind of make eye contact briefly. And then turn to our host and just if you want to sleep inside the demi-plane, you may join us.
I'd be interested in looking inside at least first.
Demir will like gesture.
She heads inside and starts to kind of poke around at the various things. She sticks her head in the coffee fountain, drinks some, and then climbs up into one of the trees.
Actually, upon like stepping into the demi-plane, Demir kind of like it takes a few minutes and she kind of like shakes her head a little bit and blinks a little and just like okay, deep breaths. Feywild, really? Every time. Hard to keep your head straight. Probably talking to like Toby and Lish. She's hanging out with the boys, but feel like I can never think straight.
All in good fun when you're entertaining.
Yeah.
It's a little scary in the sense that you can very easily become lost and adrift. I admit I've been finding myself not as focused in reality as I could be when we've been in some of the parties or larger gatherings.
It's
Same
just
for the Shadowfell or other places that we've been.
I think I prefer the dreaminess to whatever the Shadowfell was, but
I didn't like the Shadowfell, but for me, it was easier to stay focused because it was, I guess, a feeling I was more used to. A feeling of underlying danger. It was more clear what things were dangerous and to be avoided. But for this place, it's trickier. It's more subtle.
that's the thing about the Feywild. It's beautiful and wonderful and fantastic until it's not. But even then, what is monstrous is also wonderful. Demir's kind of looking towards the exit to the demi-plane a little bit. It's like a I don't know, some sort of illusion or hidden hidden creature. Just, you never know what you're looking at until it moves, and then by then it's too late to know if it's friend or foe. You just have to deal with it.
That's part of what makes it so terrifying for me.
Feel like I feel like I understand it in a weird way. But like I said, it's hard to keep your head.
I don't think I would have survived in a place like this if I didn't have all of you. Or at the very least, the both of you with me.
What do you think you would be doing differently?
I think I probably would have fallen for some trick and lost parts of myself or my soul entirely. Or maybe I would have fallen prey to the Red Knight and died. I just know that someone like me was not meant for a place like this.
Lish kind of shakes his head a little bit.
Amira is going to tuck her arm around Toby's, lean her head on his shoulder. I'm glad you're here.
I said I would follow you wherever.
And you have been so true to your words. Tamira's going to reach up and give him a kiss. I love you, Tobias.
I love you as well. The both of you.
Capable than you realize.
What he said.
You say that, but you've all made it very clear I can't be trusted with certain things.
There are plenty of things that most of us can't be trusted with. Demir just like, everything about me. You are hardly the worst of us.
Who is the worst of us?
Me.
You think you're the worst of us. I see. Okay.
Not. Who here trusts me, aside from you two?
Must we go over this again? Must we keep repeating ourselves? How many times do we have to restate it for you to finally believe what we're telling you? That all of us trust you. All of us put our faith in you.
I think the same questions could be asked of you, Toby.
In what way? I am aware that I am valued, and that you love and care for me. But I also know what kind of person I am.
Do you?
I'm naive.
Listening
I'm gullible.
to you.
It's easy for me to fall prey to the talks of the Fae. Because despite everything, I still, for some fucking reason, tend to look for the better in people.
I wouldn't call that gullible. To listen to you tell it, you have been snatched away already. But you've held your own. I think you need to beat yourself up a lot less than you do.
Give me 1 sec. I gotta say bye to my mom. She's stepping away.
It's okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Balk just sitting in the corner of the demi-plane. This is a private conversation. Don't yell at people
Stop
about being...
eavesdropping, Volk. Go to bed.
It's a relatively small room.
Go to bed, you. Put some earwax in your ear holes.
Sit closer to the coffee fountain.
Yeah, we've got the bubbling of coffee to keep us as a little bit of white noise, keeping the conversation private.
Also, the room is 30 feet by 30 feet. So.
It's a sweet,
So
sweet sound of coffee bubbling.
Still, if people are talking, you'd hear that. They'd have to be whispering, not to be heard.
Go to bed, you.
Ooh, I could check in with our people. Since we're camping in the demi-plane and Valk doesn't have to worry about having spells for in case of emergency night stuff.
Oh shit, do we get a dawn if we are camping in the demi-plane? Damn it!
Boo.
Yeah, so I guess Valk sends out a round of sendings.
Who would you like to send to first?
I'm back.
Think about it. Toby's back.
So sorry about that.
You're good.
It's okay.
How dare you say bye to your own mother?
I know, I'm so horrible. So, as Demir was saying.
Fuck, what was I saying?
I mean, I think Lish was about to pipe up and say, you know, you handled yourself very well with the Red Knight.
I feel that's a bit different, though. For someone like me, it's easier to kill something than it is to navigate hidden conversations.
Takes practice. I've had a very long time to practice.
You think I would have maybe learned something from my own childhood, but here we are.
I wish you would believe in yourself.
I do. I believe in myself to kill shit well.
I mean, you are far more than that. By simplifying yourself down and making yourself smaller, I think you're trying to protect yourself. But you don't need it. You are more than capable.
Is it wrong of me to want to?
No. But sometimes the moment necessitates. Sometimes we have to defy our own expectations of ourselves. Come more.
I see. I don't have an answer for that right now.
You have all the time in the world to figure it out.
Tobias will kind of just nod at that, contemplative.
Now, if you excuse me, Demir is going to dunk her like big old pot that she's been using to like cook pasta in and just fill it up with coffee.
All right.
I think though, as Demir turns to do that, Lishel looked at Tobias and say, I am curious as to what the Red Knight and the other knight might be telling Baba Yaga about you. Despite my own fears and misapprehensions about her, I don't know. You may be leaving a very good impression with her.
I'm not sure. I just know that she's aware I've been looking for her.
Very aware, I would assume. You're probably the best bit of fun she's had in a while.
If she gets some amusement out of the ordeal, then I suppose that's significantly better than her being annoyed.
Yes, she's leaving things in your trail for you to step into. Tests, perhaps? Trials? Well, one can't be too sure.
I think they are. I know that in order to even have access to her house, you have to have either defeated or the approval of her 3 knights. That's what these tokens represent, is basically symbols of acknowledgement that I've gained their favor, or at least permission.
And here I suppose that if you just found a high enough quality birdseed to lay at her house's feet, that would act as the key.
No, I don't. I don't think that would work at all.
I jest. You'd need at least 2 bags of birdseed.
How does a house
Maybe more like
eat?
20. I mean, it's a house.
Pretty big. So I've heard. Tall, at least.
Have you ever met Baba Yaga?
I don't think I've met. I probably, at most, probably seen her at a distance or
Yeah.
heard from.
She's not the most sociable.
Yeah.
She does prefer cold areas, so she has gone through your court a few times, but she's not really the type to drop by and have tea with you. You've probably seen her like physically outside of her house at one point, tending to her garden, but you probably wouldn't have approached her directly because you know that she's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, unless she came to court directly, I don't think Lish would have gone out of his way to interact with her directly, because he's not the biggest hag fan, so
Yeah,
he might.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know that she was once a mortal that gave up her immortal life towards the end to become an archfey, sort of. But yeah, she's fucking weird. You kind of keep your distance.
Yeah, it's like it's a tall house for a very short woman.
I wonder if our intended destination, if the Witch Queen has any sort of insight into Baba Yaga.
Perhaps would be a good. She would be a good person if she is reasonable and willing to talk to us. Good person for you to ask some questions, Tobias. Something your books might not be able to provide. It would make you have to break your rule about not talking to strange fae, but
I doubt I even have anything of value.
well, it depends on what she'd ask for. You can always
Depends
say
on what
no.
she values.
You can always say no. We'll find another route of entry, as it were. Lish's got his problem-solving face on.
Well, if we need to sample bird seed. I'm sure Valkyria knows the best sort
Ah.
that can lure a house over.
Curious expert in bird seed types. this is some
Decide
like
if that's a microaggression or not.
no, I was about to say like this is some like 3D chess racism.
I don't know. She's the most bird-like of us. Unless you want to call it bee.
Girl, your husband can literally turn into birds. Like,
Oh my god. We could get up like a birdseed buffet and really I'll sample them all. No. Off topic. Where is Biog? Did we ever have Hawk summon Biog? Did Biog get summoned? I forget.
Biog was summoned
Mm.
again. She's probably in his hood right now.
Oh.
Quick, while Hawk is away, kill Biog again.
Wouldn't be the first time.
All of this, Tobias, for your friend you don't know, correct? Was there anything else that you wanted from her?
No. I don't have an interest in anything else. I wanted to see if I could do it.
And so you are. We don't know the name of this owl bear, though, do we?
I don't even know if it has one, but I do know that sometimes it can see what I see.
Oh.
When I tried reaching out to it once, it showed me that it had been watching my journey.
Well, now.
Since the day we've been connected, and it made me realize I hadn't been as alone as I had thought.
And when was this connection formed?
When I was bitten.
You think it was the one that bit you?
No. I was bitten by a werebear.
Hmm.
You were bitten by a werebear, but you became an owl bear.
When
That
I spoke
certainly
with
sounds like you were chosen.
I suppose I was. When I spoke with the Archdruidess, she said I wasn't the first person to turn into an owlbear, nor the first one to be an owlbear with wings. But she said it ever so often they come around.
Hmm.
If I remember correctly, it's the way for the original owlbear to see the world, to escape its cage. Even if it's seeing things through the eyes of another.
Have I heard DM about like the original owlbear? Is this news to me?
I do remember Lish was with Tobias when he was speaking to the Archdruidess.
Mm-hmm. So I don't remember too distinctly.
Roll an Arcana check or a History check.
I mean, I know that owlbears were magically created.
Can I bardic inspiration?
If you want to. I got a
What do you
17.
do to inspire him?
I mean, she's sitting there drinking her little bowl of coffee. And while Lish is sitting there thinking, Demir just kind of like, weren't you hanging out with the Archdruidess at the same time, the two of you? Like, kind of trying to spur his memory a little bit.
Come on, babe, you can do it. Beat your dementia.
You got it, babe!
I'm so old. I got a 17, so what do I add with Bardic?
1d8.
19.
19. So you know that Baba Yaga herself is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
When she left her mortal life to embrace this new immortal one, she left behind a lot of the humanity that she once had. And she now found herself both with lots of power at her disposal and a very little care about the things around her, which, you know, can happen sometimes when someone ascends. She became a very different person upon attaining immortality. And she decided to experiment with the things around her. And at one point, that led to the combination of a bear and an owl. And she ended up more or less deciding to keep the first one that she made as a sort of pet while releasing other ones into the wild. A pet, a servant, a source of alchemical ingredients. Whatever she feels like, really.
Mm-hmm. I sincerely hope that you wouldn't consider swapping places with that owlbear.
No, I don't intend to. That's part of why I wonder if I'll even be able to do this. Because I don't imagine that Baba Yaga would be so willing to just let it go. Not without something significant as a price.
Yes, I think it might be a high price or something unreasonable. Some people know what they have, I suppose.
So if Baba Yaga is unreasonable,
I somewhat doubt that we can force her hand. I don't know, though. Perhaps if I am repowered on my throne, there might be a bit more I could do to twist her arm, but definitely not as I am now to aid you in your quest tonight.
Any help is appreciative. I'm honestly not expecting to be able to exceed or to succeed.
Just don't want you giving up more of yourself. That is what makes me worry.
I don't intend to, if I can help it.
But therein lies the out. But he just kind of sighs a little. Like, he can't stop you if you are going to do something. So, just kind of bumps your shoulder.
I think Tobias is kind of the conversation ends there.
It's getting late for them.
All
to
right.
hunker down.
Samira is just slurping her bowl of coffee.
Falk, you wanted to send some messages.
Yeah. Just, check in with the normal people. Probably a quick message to the parental units. Something along the lines of doing Feywild stuff, being careful, how's things on the boat, yada yada. How is, oh my god, brain, don't betray me. Stepbrother.
um, they're all doing fine. I mean, they mentioned that things are kind of getting a little weird in the prime material plane in general, but they're safe.
I also check in with, it's not Nebula, but it's something
Nova.
similar.
Nova.
Thank you. I check in with Nova, see how the funds are holding out, if people are transitioning well, yada yada yada, if there's anything we need to help with when we get back.
Folks are doing well. She's assisting as much as she can. People are engaging in the counseling. A couple of them are already starting to try to get jobs at the docks.
That's very cool. I also send a long droning message about, the perks of and religious text about helping those in need, and actions speak louder than words, yada yada yada, to El Asshole Priest that she has a vendetta against.
It's funny. You try to send the message and it's like you hit a wall.
Well, it's either interplanar or the fucker died. So, either or.
There are also tattoos that you can get that could prevent you from getting sending. Expensive. I wonder where he got those funds.
Pester the ever-loving shit out of someone until,
So he embezzles from the church to block your number.
at which point he'll get in trouble. Is there anyone else I should bother?
Valkyria, if you have a spell slot to spare for ascending,
Yeah.
there is a dryad I know here on the on the Feywild. God, I know what plane we're on.
Do you?
In the Feywild, that if you are able to reach out to her, I would appreciate your passing along a message.
I am more than
Demir
happy to do my best.
Demir will use a minor illusion to make a little portrait of Xanthe, her pine dryad friend, and just if you could send her a message and tell her that we are on the Primateer, or we are on the Feywild.
You don't know what plane you're on, huh?
I really don't. That we have made it back to the Feywild, and we are headed to the Witch Queen, and we will be on our way to Winter shortly.
Okay, I take the description and the name and send the message that Demir writes out for me.
All right.
Nim! Sorry.
There you go. I wanted to see how long it took you. But how I remember it, if you're interested, is
Nimbus.
Air Genasi, like Nimbus cloud.
I was stuck on Finn. And I was like, that's not it, but it's close, but really not.
Anyway.
Sorry.
You hear back, like a kind of a soft feminine voice whisper in your mind. That is good news to hear. Where shall we meet?
They said it's good news and are looking for a location to meet.
Well, we will be at the edge of autumn. Vervain!
Yes.
Where can we meet at the border of winter and autumn, or
should we meet at the border?
Should we? That's why I'm asking. Where should we tell Xanthe to meet us?
Well, if she's able to get away from whatever duty she may be working at, perhaps she could... Perhaps she should venture out to... I don't know, is there like a notable tree maybe outside the grounds of the palace that we would know about? Perhaps a big Christmassy one that we hold gatherings around.
Do you want to meet in the court or closer to the border?
I'm probably closer to the border, but I mean, I don't know how big of a trip that might be for her. It might be easier for us to get more inland.
I still have 4 sendings? Yeah, no. 6. I still have 6 potential sendings.
Mhm.
No. 5, because stone shape, sorry.
Do we want her to try and come out and meet us at the border? I mean, seems alright, but she may not be able to sneak us back in. If she can meet us somewhere along the winter and fall border, and we can pinpoint a specific location in, I don't know, several days from now,
Uh,
quote unquote.
Days.
Several fey days.
so,
days.
say meet in like 3 or 4 sleep cycles, somewhere along the fall and winter border, wherever she can get to, she can let us know specifically where on the border.
Tell her to make her way to the border, and we will meet her when we are able to get to her.
Okay, I can do that. We'll be making our way to the winter-fall border here in a couple days. And we can meet you wherever you can get along said border.
I will arrive when I can.
Did you try and say something, Avery? Because I couldn't hear you.
Which one of us?
Avery with the Y.
No, I didn't say anything. Demir just kind of looks a little relieved when Volk relays the message and like puts her hand on Volk's arm and just thank you.
Happy to help.
Any other conversations I would like to be had? Cool. So the evening passes uneventfully. You all come to consciousness in the morning. Your friend is still up in the tree where she had crawled last night. Are you guys ready to roll?
Think so.
All right. So
Mir is going to bring like less big cup of coffee with her.
All right. You step out of the demi-plane and you find that you're still in the autumn court, but there seems to be an archway woven of ivy that has sprouted up overnight near where you guys rested. Doesn't seem to have anything underneath it, but itself. They're all just sprouted from the ground and woven, braided and climbed together, and eventually reach in the middle, creating this little archway.
Like around our magic door?
Close to it, not next to it.
Sus. Can I insight check the archway?
This would be an Arcana check.
22.
22.
Secrets.
I mean, you'd know that this would probably be a invitation from the welcomer himself if you wanted to accept it.
Lish kind of crosses his arms. Well,
Well, what is it?
does anybody want to go talk to an old man?
Well, that depends. We are already talking to one.
Excuse me. Pardon your whole face. We could go and meet the gracious Lord if we'd like.
It would be rude not to accept the invitation, correct?
Hmm. It's not an official invitation, I suppose. He's just left it in our paths.
What, no note scrolled onto the archway?
Is there a note scrolled onto the archway?
No secret flower language message?
No flowers.
Oh yeah, fall. Are they multicolored leaves with messages arrayed on them?
Nope. It's just green ivy.
Speak, friend, and enter.
I mean, Demir can use her wand of flowers to make flowers grow.
Lish kind of kicks a rock. I guess.
Demir is going to use her wand of flowers to grow a bunch of oleander around the archway. Just cuz.
All right.
Well, what do you think? We could use his help, I suppose. Despite the heavy burden of cost we would be rending upon ourselves. He's being overly dramatic. You guys can all tell he's being overly dramatic about this.
Well,
Demir's just kind of looking at Lish a little like, well, do you think you need the help of the Lord of Autumn to get your court back?
well, wouldn't it be kind of a bad idea to alienate a potential ally both in Feish politics and the potential unraveling of all of reality?
Lish just kind of squints at you. You first, then Valkyria.
Well, that's just rude.
Is it rude? You're first. Is that not polite?
Well,
Valk
they say
does
ladies first.
Well, yeah, ladies first.
Valk does a holy gesture and is just like fuck it and walks through the archway.
Lish will be more or less right behind you.
What, y'all go a different direction and just let Valk
Yeah,
teleport?
bye.
Bye.
Bye!
It's someone else's problem now.
We got rid of Valkyria. Hooray!
Finally, we're free.
There's something we've been meaning to tell you, Lars.
R.I.P. That would be the worst way to get kicked out of a D&D group. Like, your character goes through a magic portal and the DM is like, okay, I gotta tell you something.
And you just get booted out of the Zoom call.
Rip.
Ooh.
Banhammer.
Gazebo falls. You die instantly. Goodbye.
Okay, what does the other side of the portal look like?
There's a little narrow clearing here in the autumn woods. trees on either side of you, kind of choked with brambles, preventing you from escaping. Though the sunlight is still shining through the leaves, it seems dimmer somehow, like a cloud has passed over the sun. There's a light mist kind of clinging about a foot above the ground, and in the very center of the clearing, there is a large tree. It has broad leaves, a shining yellow, which seems much brighter and more vibrant than the plants surrounding. Red apples hang from the branches, and its roots are curled around a shining, reflective pool. And you are alone. There is no way back.
I'm alone? No one came through with me? Or is it...
Well, I mean, Lish goes through right after, so.
Right. Lish appears next to you, apparently having emerged from the brambles, but you can't see any obvious escape.
So, magical path to cut through the autumn court.
Kind of steps
Meryl
forward, looks around.
Probably come through shortly after Lish. Probably holding on to Toby's arm. Dragging, if not, pulling him along.
Okay. Hawk steps through as well, as does Eitri.
Aaron's going in last to make
Tavares
sure
is
we don't
dragging
get
into
attacked from
Aaron after
behind.
him.
Yeah.
He's like, if I'm getting dragged in, you're getting dragged in too.
Okay. So you all are in this little hollow here with the apple tree and the reflecting pool. There doesn't seem to be anyone else present.
Does this seem familiar?
This isn't the Autumn King's palace. I mean, it has his flavoring, but you haven't been to this particular location before.
Lish kind of puts his hands on his hips and he like steps forward a little bit more and he's just like doesn't see any scythes or wheat fields and he's kind of like,
Do we go knock on the tree?
knock on the tree.
Look in the pool? I don't know.
If
Jump in
the tree wants to be knocked on.
Take a look around the grove.
All right. Lish, are you just trying to notice things, or are you actively poking around?
I don't think he'll necessarily touch anything at the moment. He just maybe wants to see if someone's hiding in the bushes.
All right.
Or
Perception check, then, please.
$29.
29. So it's very quiet and peaceful here. You go around the reflecting pool towards the tree, and you catch a glimpse of something. You know, one of the apples, interestingly enough. The apple is large and red, and it looks very delicious. But you catch a glimpse of something inside of it. And it takes you a moment to place it, but you realize that there was an image of the indefinite in there.
Oh my god, he's in an apple.
Where the big scary door leads just to this particular apple in the autumn court.
Through the giant portal and it pops you out of an apple. Does he doesn't.
The indefinite's been turned into an apple. Quick, eat it!
Is there nothing else around this clearing?
No.
Nothing in the water.
And, well, you're looking into the water?
A little bit.
All right. So when you look into the water, you see yourself not as you are now, but I would like you to describe to me what is a moment from your past that you felt most afraid or uncertain?
I think that he would probably see himself very, very sick, and his head is reeling, and he's in extreme pain, and he can't seem to think of where he is. And there's people all around him, but he's not getting better. And just not able to support himself, and just being very ill and sick and confused and scared, because he's never felt this weak before. And kind of that moment of unsurety, an unsurety that seemed to just last forever. Especially looking behind his shoulder and seeing his wings shredded up a bit with lines of steel iron running through his veins. Just the terror of that. But yeah.
So, you know that the Lord of Autumn goes through these phases every now and then, where sometimes he is a representation of the more wild side of autumn and tends to take the image of a naked woman running free through the woods, setting a bonfire to dance around and all that sort of fun stuff. Throwing parties, celebrations. Other times, the Lord of Autumn is more about contemplation and consideration, taking things slow and knowing that the end of summer and the beginning of his season can mean loss, and it's in these moments that he likes to appear as an older farmer. And you know that the last couple centuries he's been having fun as his farmer self. So there's something about this place that he's trying to send a message of some sort.
Lish kind of captures like the look of this scene in the pool and the memories, and he kind of makes a scoffing, annoyed noise and just kind of like and just kind of steps back from the pool. kind of looks around a bit more.
Demir is going to kind of stepping a little to like Lish's side, kind of look into the pool and see if I can see what he was seeing.
Demir, could you please describe a moment from your past when you were the most afraid or uncertain?
Oh boy. Oh. The most. So, Demir, I think, remembers, the boat ride, across the ocean from Marhaba. There was one day where the waters got a little choppy and it was raining and storming, and of course the sailors had the situation well under control, but Demir had spent that trip just in a room looking at the waves outside and feeling that there was nothing she could do at all about whether or not she would make it at the end, and just knowing what was waiting in front of her and the fact that there was nothing she could do about it just hitting her in that moment. And Demir kind of like, when she sees herself back in that moment of uncertainty and the feeling of helplessness, she just kind of steps back, like really a little rapidly, and like shakes her head and looks over at Lish like, what's is our host not going to make his appearance?
Maybe, maybe not. Perhaps after we've all duly served our penance for life, we may be graced with his presence. Can I try and take a closer look at that apple?
Roll an investigation check.
10.
10. Looking at it, you can, it's like it's on the verge of showing something. But at the same time, you're looking over the apple, and a thought strikes you that this apple could be a weapon against Idurin the Indefinite if you plucked it.
A weapon like how? like a cherry bomb shaped like his head. Like, because
Well,
when you say
like it's more like you're looking at the apple, and it, you know, when apples are freshly washed and they kind of shine and you can almost see reflection in it. It's more like that.
Lish kind of gives a bit of a breath. What is everybody else doing?
Well, Valk is, just kind of quietly appraising the situation. And, if you say any of that out loud, it's just like, so we gotta pay for this potential Apple weapon with shitty memories?
Something to make you remember how good you have it now, I suppose.
Well, I have quite a few memories that would qualify. And I guess Valk does her part.
Lish, I'd like you to make just a general insight check.
$22.
22?
Yeah.
Let me send you a message.
Uh-oh. We're being peeping Tommed, perhaps. Me, when I put you in my apple orchard so I can see how you react. Don't worry, Lish has his own ice pool that he makes people confront their worst nightmares. It's great. They all have one. It kind of comes with the palace.
It's like, it's a Fey territory. Valk, what do you see in the pool? Since you brought it up.
Well, when Valk walks over to the pool and, you know, kind of expecting this to happen and kind of already thinking about all the memories that would fit that and just, and then she looks into the pool and then it's just flash, 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 where like probably a dozen different instances of, uh, being part of the church when she was young, having issues fitting in with people at Paladin school, uh, you know, moments where she's trying to put on a brave face but is utterly terrified of interacting with people, including the party members. And it's just like, so if anyone's like kind of looking at what's going on, you're just getting bombarded by a series of memories. Just bat, 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 bat. And you can kind of see Valk's shoulders kind of creep up and whatnot after each flash. But she has paid her due.
Lish is gonna ignore the apple for now, and he's just gonna kind of do another loop around the space and see if there's anything else interesting going on.
I mean, there's the very thick brambles, kind of fencing you in between the trees.
Is there a way out that is seeable?
Not Not that you can see right now.
He might ask the pixies to go up higher and see if there isn't a path up and out.
The pixies start to flutter and fly and look for a way out, but the higher they get, it starts to get foggier. It's difficult to see, and eventually they find themselves emerging from the brambles where you guys had emerged.
Oh.
Gotta think portals.
They looped.
Lisha's gonna go kind of push his hands towards those brambles that we came through and see if it's just he meets resistance or if it pushes through.
You meet some resistance.
All brambles all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Toby's had other plans. Aaron's been still holding his hand from when we went in through the door. And Aaron will, take a step over towards the pool and pull Toby along a little, but looking at Toby to see if he's okay with doing that.
Tobias got no reason to drop Aaron's hand. If Aaron wants to walk over to the pool and stuff. He'll allow Aaron, he'll move so that Aaron can, look into the pool, but Tobias won't look into it, because knowing that it shows moment of greatest fear, he already knows what that is. He's already seen it before.
Aaron, what do you see in the pool?
Yeah, so as Aaron walks up, he has a pretty clear mental image of what kind of stuff he might be seeing. The confrontation with the Rakshasa, or with the vampire, or the moment on the bridge, or God forbid, he's even mentally prepared for if he gets a vision of the fire. And then he looks in, and it's none of those. It is an image of a very, very young Aaron, wearing big old ceremonial robes and headpiece, and with his hair all carefully braided. At his first recitation for one of the songs and rites he is expected to be able to perform, and he's standing there, and this cloak is several times larger than he is, and he is almost completely obscured by it. And he's got his mom in one corner of the scene, with a very expectant look on her face. And he looks over at her, and then he looks over to his dad. And his dad is just standing there. Watch Aaron prepare himself for his first recitation. And Aaron has no idea whether or not he is going to be able to give this speech correctly. And as he's looking at his dad, he realizes that he has no idea what his dad is expecting from him in this moment either, or what his dad really wants. And adult Aaron knows that he stumbled around a lot on this speech, but did ultimately make it through.
When Eitri looks in the pool, he kind of sighs and then goes over to the tree to look it over. There's something that the Autumn Lord is trying to tell you guys here.
The power of friendship compels you. I don't know that Lish is gonna point the apple out.
Okay.
After what he's incited about it, he's kind of ignoring it a little.
All right.
Demir might go poking around a little, doing some investigation of the clearing.
Roll an investigation check.
Okay.
Have all of us looked in the pool now?
Tobias has not.
Oh.
That's a 26 investigation for me.
26. You're looking around, you do notice the apples, and you reach the same conclusion that Lish reached before, that this can be used against the indefinite somehow. And it's interesting, however, looking at the pool, it doesn't look that deep when you look at it, maybe like an inch or two. But as Erin, who is still holding Tobias's hand, kind of leans forward to look at it, he stumbles a little bit, and his foot seems to go deeper than it really ought to.
Hey guys.
Hmm.
And I think Aaron's just gonna just kind of demonstrate sticking, still keeping his balance and keeping a hold on Toby so Toby can keep him from falling in. He's just gonna demonstrate sticking most of his leg into the pool and say, I think we might be this feels like what we're supposed to do.
Well, be careful. Is there a step?
Isn't that a lovely question?
It's not
Does
a
it just
step,
go?
but there's a slope. Are you still holding Tobias's hand?
Yes. And he's also when Eitri came over, if Eitri seemed at all shaken, he would have taken Eitri's hand as well.
Oh,
Mm.
babies.
He seemed more unsurprised.
It's fair. Huh. Opposite reaction as Aaron. He's gonna say, this feels like when we were on the plane of dreams. Like the kind of stuff we had to do there.
Only way out is through, I suppose. Demir is looking at the apple. Is it attached to the tree, or is it just sitting there?
It's growing from the tree.
Oh.
Can Lish catch her looking at it?
Probably.
I don't think she's being subtle about it. She's probably holding it a little bit, kind of moving it on the tree without plucking it.
Lish'll kind of reach out to her hand and kind of pull it gently away from the apple and say, I don't think this is a tool meant to be used. You see, everything is a metaphor.
Demir will like kind of look at him for a long moment, like open her mouth like she's about to argue, thinks better of it, and then lets her hand drop.
I'm sure my lord and friend here is doing his utmost to communicate to us a very valid point.
Aaron is going to let go of Toby's hand and say, pull me out if anything gets weird.
Wait,
And he's going to...
maybe rope?
You let go of Tobias's hand,
no.
and you find your leg immediately stuck in mud.
Uh-oh. The metaphors got him.
Schlorp, schlorp, schlorp.
Demir is going to try to toss a length of rope to Aaron, like, hold on to the rope.
We really should have tied you down first.
You grab onto the rope.
Yeah, he'll go for the rope at least.
Alright, yeah. You grab the rope. You're in the mud where there was no mud previously.
There's mud now. Aaron's just gonna be narrating his experience.
Help the thing again.
Help, it's again.
Is it like, is he sinking further into it, or is he just kind of there?
You're just kind of there.
Okay.
Somebody wants to reach down. How deep is his legs in there?
Like 1.5 feet, maybe?
Wow.
I kind of wonder, Toby, do you think you can reach Aaron's hand without stepping in the pond yourself?
Tobias will give it a shot to see if he can.
Yeah, you were holding his hand previously, so you're able to lean over and take his hand. Your leg is free.
No mud anymore. Am I like, is there anything else under me?
I mean, you're able to find that gentle slope again.
Okay. It's going down now. It's letting me in more, I think. Might be something we're supposed to do together.
Metaphor.
It's a metaphor for helping, how we all have to help each other through our worst times or something, I think. That's what's hitting me, at least.
It's always a metaphor with these magical pools, isn't it?
Is anyone else gonna come down into the pool?
Maybe. I mean, how how far is like the edge of the pool towards like the middle of the pool?
I mean,
like how wide across is it?
I think the pool itself is not very large. It's I'd say it's probably like a yard or two across.
Well, there doesn't really seem to be any other way out of here.
Come on in, the lack of water is fine.
Lish will kind of reach out towards Aaron's hand and step into the pool.
All right. You are able to step into the pool. It is deeper than it looked before.
Do I get stuck?
No?
Can I take another step out towards where Aaron is in the pool?
Sure.
Do I get stuck then?
Nope.
Aaron, try moving your feet.
Aaron kicks his feet around a little.
I mean, it's like you're standing in water, Aaron.
Not stuck?
Nope. Because I got Toby.
Mm.
Here, Lish. Come out. Aaron's gonna reach for Lish's hand.
Yeah, Lish will take it.
All right.
And once he's got Lish's hand, Aaron's gonna let go of Toby.
Okay.
And use the slight extra distance he has from being holding on to Lish, who's slightly in the pool, to move a little further into the pool.
All right. The water seems to be getting deeper since you guys are holding each other.
Valk walks up to the edge of the pool and kind of looks down at her armor, sighs for a moment, and then uses, what is it called? Shape water to make a little dry path for herself as she's reaching out to someone's hand. Just kind of makes a little teeny tiny split the Red Sea and holds out a hand.
When you move the water out of the way, you can see that the puddle for you is like maybe this deep. There's mud there.
And she holds out a hand like expecting someone to take it.
Lish kind of narrows his eyes at this whole situation. But Lish will reach his hand out towards Valk.
Valk stays standing on the mud.
I think you have to get wet, Volk.
Valk, you can't fight it. You gotta accept the bad stuff.
Fine. At which point she lets her little miniature Red Sea splash back together.
All right. Water is now deeper for you.
If Valk gains him any distance, Aaron's gonna go deeper.
It seems to be almost like a tunnel leading outward, Aaron. It's sloping.
Hey, E.T.
Okay.
Eitri wades into the water and takes hands, and it's almost immediately he kind of like sinks a little, but like goes back up.
Well, it's conga line time.
Demir will gesture Toby like after you. And then she will get in the water as well.
Demir, who are you holding on to?
I think like she offered a hand to Toby, so probably Toby, and then Eitri had the other empty hand. So
all right. Hawk comes in as well.
How, is the water getting anywhere, how high on Aaron is the water right now?
Well, are you towards the middle of the pool?
He's going as far out as the current daisy chain of people is letting him.
That would probably be towards the middle. You're having to swim at this point.
All right. He's gonna call out to the group at large. Do you think it'd be a bad idea to see if I can see anything down here?
I say give it a shot.
Does anybody have a water breathing spell?
Aaron's just gonna tilt his face down into the water a little bit, and then you can all just see the pool like light the fuck up as he turns his high beams on. Does he see anything?
It seems to be a tunnel leading outward.
There's a tunnel. Who are we missing in the line so far? Is it Lish?
No, you got everyone.
Oh, good. Okay. We want to swim down.
Yeah, there's no other way out.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone good at holding their breath? I don't know that we have anything we can do if not.
I guess we'll just have to swim quickly.
Yeah.
Bulk isn't so much swimming, but just walking along the bottom because, plate mail.
Heavy. Yeah. All right. Yeah, everyone's gonna take a deep breath and then go for it.
All right. So you will take breath with the exception of Hawk, and dive under the water. You swim for a while around through this earthen tunnel, and while you swim, you still see little flickers of these not so nice memories. But eventually, Erin, as you're in the lead, you start to see that this tunnel is sloping upward, and you can see a shimmer of light. And a message comes to each of you, not less so in words, but more of an understanding. You are each but a single strand of fate, fragile alone. In the face of eternity, all are small. Together you are a tapestry. Wield your unity as a blade sharper than any steel. Your enemy relies on your doubt to weaken you. Let your courage echo louder than the silence of time. With that, you break the surface and find yourself in a little pond. The surface shimmers almost like liquid glass, reflecting not just the surroundings, but also maybe faint images of distant places, dreams, and memories, this time happier ones. Nearby, you all can see a gilded stag with fur that kind of shimmers as though dusted with fine gold that watches. Antlers are twisted branches adorned with small glowing orbs, and its eyes, which seem to be like a deep amber, hold almost 1,000 unspoken stories. And when it moves, the pond's surface refracts the light into brilliant rainbows, scampers away, revealing a single staff planted in the ground.
Aaron's gonna turn back to the group and say, "Can I just say that I got that one immediately?" And then swim over to the bank.
I agree, you did get that one pretty quick.
Yeah.
Meant to be hard.
Lish kind of huffs and keeps looking looking after where the stag went.
All right.
Can I go up to the staff?
Mm-hmm.
Identify it? Is it magical?
Oh yeah. It is. It is magical. It's it's kind of interesting. It looks like it's made of birch wood at first glance. It kind of twists up into a little claw shape, holding an orb.
Do we ponder the orb?
Yeah, what do I look if I ponder the orb? Where are
What do your
Gandalf's
magic
big
eyes
naturals?
see?
What do my big naturals view?
Are you identifying staff?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll cast Identify.
Let me send you the thing. This is the reward for not taking the apple.
Yay!
Yay!
We did right.
What does it do?
I don't. It's my Discord's freaking out on me.
It's just a stick.
Yeah, it's just a really
Wouldn't that be
fancy stick, guys.
hilarious?
It's just really dope. Like, it's sick as fuck.
It's a +5 stick. It does a D1 of damage.
Oh, geez, where's it going?
You're a bunch of golden
Come on.
retrievers, right? It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Look, when you throw the stick, it summons a bunch of golden retriever celestials. Oh my god. My computer is struggling, sorry.
This is really funny.
What?
It is just a stick.
What
It
if
just
you were...
really does not want to load the stick. Oh god. It went from not loading the stick to loading 5 tabs of the stick, so...
Hear me out. We
Meow.
create a magical sled. Like a dog sled.
Mm.
That when it's pulled by blink dogs, it blinks with the blink dogs.
That would be dope.
Actually.
That would be a really sick as fuck item. Oh my god.
Well, fun in games until you end up in a wall, I guess.
Well,
Happens to the best of us.
Aaron,
Ooh,
post game.
Ooh,
know
this
the,
is sexy.
You know the insane forest wizard in Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
With the sleigh like pulled by rabbits?
Radigan.
Aaron's that, but with blink dogs. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So this would be really good for dealing radiant damage. If anyone has a spell slot, would certainly be a helpful item. Gives
An
you
item
some bonus
intended
to...
for a spellcaster. So you need to have an open attunement slot and a free hand.
You post it in the...
It got
Yeah, I
posted.
posted it in the loot chat.
Loot chat, loot chat.
So it gives you 3d6 additional radiant damage on any critical hit with a spell slot.
Dang. That ain't bad.
Yeah.
With a spell attack. Not a spell
Yeah, so it gives you a
slot.
plus... yes, sorry. It gives you a +1 to a spell attack, and then if you get a critical hit, it adds an additional 3d6 radiant damage.
Basically an arcane focus that can let you do radiant damage sometime.
I don't know if that would be as good for me, because I don't have a lot of, like, attacks that, like, hit, you know?
I have a few, but I use my spell slots for other kinds of radiant damage, which in this edition does not count as spell attacks.
So, I mean, I am all up on attunement slots. So, does E3 have any free attunement slots, or I don't know who else would.
Eitri, or we can hold on to it for Levy for the final fight,
Mm-hmm.
since I'm assuming that Levy will try to be here for that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Felix promised. And I intend to hold them to it. I will make them quit their jobs if they can join us.
No, we all just appear at the job, pick them up, and just take them.
One of us. One
One of us. One of us.
Either that, or we all appear at their work and just start playing D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Intel will love that.
Regardless, as you finish identifying the staff, your Huldra guide comes through the woods, looking kind of frazzled. There you are! Oh, goodness, I've been looking for you. I thought I told you all to stay close.
Well, we didn't go far.
We need to get better at not forgetting NPCs.
You did. You went far, but luckily I tracked you down. And lucky for you, the Grove of the Witch Queen is just that way.
Well, wonderful.
That's where we'll call session for the day.
Woo!
Yay!
Oh, heck yeah!
We get fun magic items. We all get to think about traumatic character moments. Do we level up?
No, in fact, you leveled down.
Yeah, we need a lot more trauma first. We haven't filled up our trauma experience points.
Alright, well, regardless, thank you for playing, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you.
as always.
It was good to play again. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
too
Oh
long.
God.
Let's see, hold on. Oh, next week's the 28th. I won't be able to do that because it's my sister's birthday. We'll figure it out. Like,
How
it's
dare.
her birthday. I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah, literally.
I'm just doing brunch.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But anyway, thanks for playing, guys, and see you next time.
GG. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.